I know you've talked about kind of being unofficially retired and not acting as much.
Like, will I go back to it? Because I ask myself that all the time.
I have a hypothetical, a scenario, because you've talked about pitching, The Wedding Singer. And
I was going to say, I want to do another movie with Sandler.
If Adam Sandler said to you, like it was the perfect movie, it fit both of you and your lives right now for you to do it, it's a yes?
Be yes.
Okay.
I think everyone loves that answer.
I think
Blended is the movie that it's so funny because it's not the one talked about the most, but when it's on TV, I put it on every time.
And
I love
every
The Wedding Singer.
parent with a 12-year-old also knows Blended.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think it was our goal or anything we thought about, but it's like all the kids of the people who went to The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates are now watching it. So it's a thoroughfare to keep it all in the family. And I never knew that would happen with Blended. I didn't think about it that way when we made it. And now it is literally the kids of the people that we grew up with. So I'm glad we did that pivot.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional for me, but like generationally and age-wise speaking, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
You heard her, Adam.
Now
Make the movie.
I really, we've done it every 10 years and it's about to be 10 years. So we just did a segment for the show in our car called the Druber. And I picked him up and we do talk about like what the next one could be, and it hasn't come out yet. But I think that would make me so happy.
Yeah.
Again,
It would make the world
would be.
Really?
Yes,
It would make the world
100%.
so happy.
Well, this goes right back to relationships and right back to your relationship with yourself and your job and your friends and everyone. Like, are you happy? And I know that seems like a silly question because happiness seems like this lofty thing. It's not. It's hard to be happy. It's a choice. It's a struggle to get there most days. It's not on tap every morning. And it's, if you veer your life towards there, it's so good. And I'm convinced we're here to take care of each other. It's so okay if we are different. That's, I think, the best part of like, because you know what? I can tell you what 45 taught me. We're all different. That's not going to change. And no matter how optimistic of a human being you are, people have radical differences. And that's okay. Work from the common ground. It is there. And embrace each other and don't push each other away or be cruel. Figure out a way to coexist. And actually, I bet you like the same fart joke. And I bet you care about your kids and you both eat cereal and everybody uses toilet paper. And you might have a movie in common or a song or a life experience or the lack of a parent or something. Work from a different place. That was my big 45 aha. Doing this show, the pivot of the world. There are radical differences between people. That's not going to change. How do we find our way into each other?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a beautiful place for us to wrap up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Rhea and I are such huge fans
Yes,
and
we
have
are.
loved
I'm
everything
such a big fan
that
of
you
you
have
guys.
done.
A whole other hour.
I know.
So many.
I love your
podcasts.
whole
So
origin
many-
story.
I know. I
and
have
you
so
deserve
many-
to be
so
here,
many
and you
other
carved
movies.
this space out for yourself, and
Thank
it's
you.
working, and
Thank you.
people are loving it. And I'm so glad you brought the, female game, to a giant franchise. I feel like I have a 13-year-old boy who permanently lives inside of me, and I love men and I love women so much. And I just want girls to be able to do what boys do, and if boys want to do what girls do, let's just give opportunity everywhere. And sometimes you have to make it happen for yourself. Without fucking anyone over.
Yep, absolutely.
Just make it happen. So congratulations on making it happen in 500 episodes.
Thank you so much.
so
And
much.
make sure everyone watch the Drew Barrymore show. Tune in weekly. Drew's News as well, her podcast, which we are going to be on. We have a crossover happening. So for those listening, tune into that as well.
I have some fun stories for us too.
I'm very excited.
We get to do more on the podcast than we do on daytime TV. We get to be a little naughty.
As
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
So thank you guys.
Thank you
so
Thank
much.
you everybody so much.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for
having me, by the
No,
way. I'm
seriously, we
serious.
could
I know. I just
so many questions.
I literally was just on a JetBlue flight. I was coming back from Vegas, and I was just like, I am exhausted. Like, I was scrolling through the movies. I was like, I need to put something on. I put on Charlie's Angels. It was exactly what I needed.
I hate dark shit so much. I'm like, guess what? There is enough of that in life to go around. I cannot be a part of that in storytelling. Like, this is not a place to do it to people.
No. Do you have a favorite movie that you've done? We didn't ask on the podcast. But.
I mean, I think experience-wise, like, like, the Charlie's movies. We just had the best time. E.T., 50 First Dates was a dream. So I think about it as far as like experience. I'm really glad my partner found this film called Donnie Darko. That was like a different film for us to
that was
make.
for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I loved that movie.
I had a boy show me that movie for the first time. Like I was like in high school.
That's a univeal experience where people talk about
like it was like a classic like
it's a
20
sexy movie.
It was a classic like 20-year-old boy being like, you gotta watch this movie.
Yeah, no,
like, it's so great. Like
I think
Donnie
it's
Darko.
the
I'm like,
cooler movie that
watching
we
it in
made.
his family's basement.
Yeah, we made more like a lot of like goofier comedies. That one, I'm like, how did we end up making that movie?
For 50 First Dates, did you like get frustrated with having to play the same thing every day?
No, I loved it. I really did, because it was such a metaphor of love for me, which is we've made all these films with like a happy ending, and really love is a daily thing that you keep waking up if you're lucky.
That is beautiful.
And having to reinvent or relove or rebuild or keep afloat. So I kind of loved the reality of like there are no like kiss happy endings. It's like it's a wake up every day practice. Yeah. So
I love
enjoyed that part of it.